Hello, BookTube. Been a little while. Cheers, my friends. I'm drinking Labatt Blue. So, to my Canadian friends, some good beer comes from up north there. Jason, you know what I'm talking about. Hope the Leafs do better since they got rid of Mike Babcock. But I mean, they won their first game after they got rid of him. But we'll see what the rest of the hockey season has in store. I know the Red Wings aren't going anywhere. So anyway, I'm here to do a tag. This is the Book Snob Book Tag. Original by Tia and All the Books. And I was tagged by Steve Donoghue. Thank you, Steve. I think he tagged me way back in May. So again, if you tag me and I'm aware of it, I will eventually get to your tag. So thank you again, Steve. Number one, and I think this might be Mark Nash's version of this. Not quite sure. Number one, Adaption Snob. Do you always read the book before you see the movie? No, not always. I actually read Jurassic Park before I saw the movie. I read The Great Gatsby, but I have not seen the movie, the DiCaprio version. I know there's like 2 or 3. I don't know what it's into now. The DiCaprio is probably like the 3rd one or something, but I tried to explain that through a song by Lana Del Rey, which was recommended by Stephanie over at LattesandMockingjays. I watched the video pertaining to that movie or associated with that movie. I was like, kind of like to see that. So, doesn't always happen that it's the book first or the movie first. With me, it just depends on, you know, is it appealing, interesting, or is it something I'm going to like? If it is, it doesn't really matter as long as I get a chance to experience it. It's good stuff. 2, Format Snob. If you had to choose only one format for the rest of your life, print, electronic, or audio, which would it be? That's an easy one for me. I'm a kind of a print guy. I kind of like to have that book with me. I understand that, you know, ebooks are convenient if you're, you know, traveling and whatnot. You got those books at your fingertips, but currently I'm a stay-at-home guy, so kind of like my books at my house. I mean, I'm not saying I don't get out. Today I've traveled like 80-some miles, so I do get out and about. But yeah, print. 3, Ship Snob. Now, Ship Snob, ship's relationship, it's some kind of term these youngins come up with. Pardon me. Would you date or marry a non-reader? Yes. And I have, but my second wife, she's peeking at me through the corners there, or through the... she's peeking around the corner there. She does read, and she's read some of my stuff, and Hemingway and Stephen King and some others, so I have dated and married non-readers, but I'm currently married to a reader, so let me cut that off before I get in trouble. Number 4, Genre Snob. You ditch one genre and never read it again. Which would it be? Now, this was a tough one because you're basically giving up one genre that, you know, you're not going to read again. I almost went with, you know, manuals that come with the stuff that you buy, but I figured that was probably a bad idea. So I went with self-help, and I have read self-help books. Don't have a big problem with them, you know, but I found that they probably are more beneficial to people with a different personality than myself. And I'm sure people look at the background and stuff and go, dude, you need all the help you can get. No, I'm fine. Trust me. Alright, 5. Uber genre snob. You only read one genre the rest of your life. Which would it be? Now this one here, this is awful. I don't like this question because it kind of pushes you in a corner, and you know, obviously I'm a sci-fi, horror, speculative fiction, I love nonfiction, historical stuff, you name it. I pretty much read every genre if it looks interesting. But if you could only read one genre, and as crappy as at this point, I don't, you know, with television coverage and all that, don't really hold journalists in high esteem compared to what I used to back in, say, 71, you know, 67, 68, before the tabloids came along. But honestly, if I had to, you know, be nailed down, I'd have to go with journalism, because you have to sift through it just like everything else and try to find the truth. But they still cover all facets of existence, from religion to science to agriculture to pretty much everything. So you would still be privy to what's going on, and you know, it's supposed to be current events, but you know, they cover other things. So I have to go with journalism. Like I said, that one was a toughie. 6. Community snob. Which genre do you think receives the most snobbery from the bookish community? And on this one, I have to agree with Steve. And he said romance, and I mean, I can understand that. I mean, I've read it. Bridges of Madison County, Broken Clocks back here, which was recommended by Pete over at Comfycozyup. It's a really good book, so I tend not to look down on things. There are some genres I have a problem with. I'm not gonna lie about that. There's some book series I have a problem with. I'm not gonna mention Twilight. Oh my goodness, look what I've done. 7. Snobbery recipient. Have you ever been snubbed for something you've been reading, or for reading in general? Well, I'm not sure if I was snubbed, but I received a few quizzical looks and a raised eyebrow or two when I went into county lockup, which is county jail around here. And I was just doing like 5 days, and I walked in there with a King James version of the Bible and a science fiction book, and there was only, one bunk there, and I was like, all right guys, which bunk's mine? And I was a bit younger back then, and wasn't really intimidated by anybody, not that I am now. And they was like, there you go, buddy. But like I said, I hung out 5 days with some folks that weren't, probably the best examples of what society has to offer, but it boils down to mutual respect and, You know, before I left there, I found out how many laps I had to do around the jail cell to equal a mile. And some other stuff. But, yeah, got a few looks there, and I'd sit around and read. They were doing other things. It's cool with me, you know, if you want to make jewelry boxes out of cigarette packs. And, you know, the one guy was selling necklaces he made out of yarn, and you got to find something to do to occupy your time. And I was just there 5 days, so I can't imagine. You know, I've never been in the big house. I've only been in county and regional, so, you know, I'm not a hardcore criminal, which is hilarious. I was just in there for simple stuff. But, yeah, and probably got a few looks when I went out to Devil's Lake in North Dakota for combat engineer training. Reading, talking about different books. A couple guys that said, "Hey, man, you really altered my opinion of Southern folks." So I took that as a compliment. So, thank you, Steve, for the tag. Sorry it took me 5 months, dude. But, you know, life happens. So, now let me pull my high-tech piece of paper off of here, and we'll see who I tag. Now, here's the thing. 5 months ago, I don't know who's done this, who hasn't, so I'm going to tag Stephanie at LattesandMockingjays, Zlata at Matilda Gothika, Peta Comfycozyup, Benjamin Ray Barnes, Cara at Wilde Book Garden, Valeshia at WhattheGemini, Jena Bibliofilth, Chuck the Book Dweller. Chuck, I think you said nobody tagged you. I'm like, dude, that is not a problem. And Melissa at Melissa&Barnsie read. And again, folks, if you've already done these tags, or this tag, you know, just disregard me, because I'm kind of like the tortoise, I guess, in the tortoise and the hare. You know, slow, but I get there. So, thank you again, Steve Donoghue, for the tag. And everybody else for watching, sticking around, and even giving a crap about what I'm doing. You guys are the best. Drink one for me. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.